Welcome to the Hudson Valley Community College Eyes on the Sky series, an update about current astronomy, space science, and sky events. I'm astronomer Richard Monda, and this is Eyes on the Sky for January 25th through February 29th, 2024. We start our episode with the moon reaching its full phase as the lunar sphere approaches the constellation Leo. In folklore, this first full moon of the new year is called the wolf moon, named after howling wolves that are active early in the winter season. By the next night, the moon has reached Leo and is now in its waning gibbous phase. Although slight, you might be able to notice some shading on the upper right part of the moon. By mid-evening on January 27th, the waning gibbous moon is almost to the midsection of Leo and past the star Regulus. The name of this hot blue-white star is derived from the Latin rex, meaning little king, an appropriate name for the brightest star in the King of Beasts constellation. By January 28th, the lunar sphere is in the vicinity of the nebula, the lion's tail. By the last day of January, the moon has reached Virgo, and it is still in its waning gibbous phase. On February 1st, the lunar gibbous has reached Spica, the marker star of Virgo, and like Regulus, is a hot blue-white star. By the early morning hours of the 2nd, the moon's orbital motion has taken it to the eastern side of Virgo, where, later that day, the moon becomes third quarter. Before sunrise on February 3rd, the moon is a wide waning crescent as it approaches the summer star pictures. The next day, the lunar crescent appears next to the star Pi Scorpii. Then, on the morning of February 5th, the thinning crescent is below the star Antares. Antares means rival of Mars because its color is similar to that of the red planet. On the 6th, the thinning crescent is found above the spout of the Sagittarius teapot shape. Then, in the dawn sky the next morning, the moon is a thinly lit crescent in the handle of the teapot. In addition, this crescent appears near Venus, making for a remarkable sight in the dawn sky. February 8th brings us only 2 months away from a stunning event in the daytime sky, a total eclipse of the sun. We are in an exceptionally unusual situation in that there are 2 major solar eclipses in a single academic year. Last October 14th, there was an annular or ring-type solar eclipse, a special type of partial eclipse. Over about an hour and a half, the moon covered more and more of the sun until only a ring of sunlight surrounded the entire moon. It looked like a solar hoop up in the sky. Then the moon uncovered the sun. On April 8th, the moon will completely cover the sun on a track that travels through Mexico, then into Texas, engulfing Austin and then Dallas. The eclipse path then moves through Arkansas, Missouri, southern Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and then into western New York State, where Syracuse, Rochester, and Buffalo will see a total eclipse of the sun. The eclipse track then goes through the Adirondack Park and into Plattsburgh, New York. It then clips northern Vermont and northern New Hampshire, moves into central Maine, and then into Canada. This is the Great North American Solar Eclipse. Locally in the Albany, New York area, this event will be a deep partial solar eclipse with 97% of the sun covered at maximum. With 3% of the sun still uncovered, safe solar eclipse glasses must be worn throughout this entire event. It takes a new moon to have a solar eclipse, and the new moon of February occurs on the 9th. By February 15th, the moon is well into the evening sky, and that evening Jupiter, appearing as a very bright star, is found to the lower right of the moon. The next evening, the moon reaches first quarter near the Pleiades star cluster, but moonlight will make the cluster difficult to see. On the 17th of February, the waxing gibbous moon is approaching the horns of Taurus. The 18th finds the moon near the tips of the horns above Elneth, the tip of the western horn, and Zeta Tauri, the tip of the eastern horn. By the 22nd, the moon is back against the stars of Leo, and the waxing gibbous is near the sickle shape of the lion's mane. The next night, the moon appears near Regulus, this time in its full phase. The moon continues to glide among the stars of Leo, and the waning gibbous is once more below Denebola on February 25th. During the last few days of February, the moon moves through Virgo and is in the vicinity of Spica on February 27th and the 28th. Finally, on Leap Day, the day that helps keep our calendar synchronized with the seasons, the moon ends the month as a waning gibbous, 3 days before third quarter. Thanks for watching our February 2024 Eyes on the Sky episode. Starting in March, be sure to look for monthly sky updates in our College Campus Chronicle. And as always, I'm astronomer Richard Monda, reminding you to keep your eyes on the sky.